Good afternoon, everyone. If everyone can hear me, let's give a little round of applause to get us started up. My name is Mike Hom. I am the director of the City of St. Paul's Parks and Recreation Department, and on behalf of the women and men that work for St. Paul Parks and Recreation and the entire community, I want to welcome you all to the grand opening for our outdoor spaces here at Frogtown Community Center in the General Vang Pao athletic fields. Welcome. You're going to hear from a few speakers here today, but before we get started, I just want to say that I am blown away by this space. As a person who's worked as a professional in the parks and recreation industry for the last 30 years of my life, I will tell you that you will not find another parks and recreation property, another athletic field, any place in this country that looks as good as this place looks right now. And this is ours here in Frogtown in St. Paul. My first job is to welcome my boss, and I want to, in introducing Mayor Melvin Carter, I want to tell a quick story. When Mayor Carter was first elected about 3 years ago, he spoke with department leaders like myself in the community to ask us about what was coming up, what were our priorities, what we saw in Parks and Recreation. And Mayor Carter asked me, he said, "Mike, what is next for St. Paul Parks and Recreation?" And I said, "Mayor, the one thing that I think we need to do, my priority, is finish the building project and the outdoor fields at what was then Scheffer Recreation Center." And I said, it is very important. The community has been working on it for a very long time, and it is an area of great need, and it will provide great value. And Mayor Carter, without hesitation, looked across the table at me and said, "Mike, it is my priority too that we finish that project." And we are here today with a completed project, a great project, thanks in large part to a champion for Parks and Recreation for community, my boss, St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter.
Thank you, Mike. Hey, welcome to Frogtown Community Center. I love this space. You know, I live in this neighborhood. So my children and I drive past here literally every day. And we've gotten a chance to watch this space go up. We've gotten a chance to watch this space come alive. Not just through the transformation of the construction project, but what really makes it alive is the young people who are swinging on the swings, or who are swinging on everything, and who are running on the fields and who are out here. And this is just amazing. You know, it takes me back to when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, and many of you know my story, I grew up playing in our rec centers. I grew up taking the city bus to the King Center, to Jimmy Lee after school, coming over across University Avenue to Scheffer and to West Minnie, and playing in our rec centers. And every now and then we'd have a field trip. And we do field trips to like big amazing recreation centers from school. And every time we did a field trip to a big, amazing, like, let's go have fun all day long type of rec center, we were taking a school bus outside of St. Paul. And I remember we used to say, every time we'd go have a day of fun out at one of these big, new, fantastic rec centers somewhere in a suburb, on the way back home, somebody would say, "Man, they'd never build that in our neighborhood." And so as mayor, I want to tell you, I take that as a personal challenge, because this is our neighborhood. And these are our children, and these are our neighbors, and these are our families. And if Frogtown families don't deserve the very best, I don't know who does. And so this is a space, this is a special space. I believe, Mike taught me if I'm wrong. Actually, Mike, just pretend I'm right if I'm wrong. But I believe our old building was the first rec building that we ever built in the city of St. Paul. And when you look at that old building, if you know what this space looked like before this transformation, you'll know why I use the word transformation. Because we would go there for basketball games, and you couldn't have a game there because the wall was about 3 floor tiles past the out of bounds line. It was challenged for space, but what we lacked in space and facilities, we made up for in livelihood. Because even with those optimal facilities, this place was always alive, with the Half Pints drill team practicing outside, with young folks just filling that space up, with our parents kind of active and working with young people, with our rec leaders engaging people directly, with the outdoor courts that we did. I kid you not, this place was so used that it took about 45 minutes to an hour sometimes to get on the basketball courts. And I once saw some young people out here after the first snow who had literally dragged their feet in the snow to create a 3-point line and a free throw line to play basketball in the snow. That's how used this space was. How could we, council member? How could we as a city not respond to that kind of urgency? How could we not respond to that kind of use with this kind of investment? So I'm excited to have this here. We just had a little meeting on top of the spider. What's that called? Spider. On top of the spider. We had a meeting on top of that, and we were talking to our young people, and I told them, listen, I have a quick quiz, and the question is a 1-question quiz. It's whose is this? Whose is this space? And we agreed it belongs to all of us. And the challenge that I gave them is, come play on it. Play on everything. Play on every corner. Play on every tool. Play on every toy. Play on every field. Play every game. Swing every swing. Use this space completely. But the fact that it's yours also means that it's yours to take care of. So when you see some trash on the field, pick it up and throw it away. When you see somebody's broken a swing, go inside and tell a rec leader. Like, it's ours to play on, to enjoy, to have a great time, to be able to do this together. It's also ours to take care of, to ensure not just this group of kids, but our next group of kids, and the next group of kids, and the next group of kids after that can enjoy this 21st century first-class space that we just established right here in one of St. Paul's highest potential neighborhoods, Frogtown. And let me tell you this. There are some people who try to pretend that politics is an individual sport. But the truth is it's a team sport. And everything we do in partnership with one another. And I appreciate Mike. Mike's our director of the city's Parks and Recreation Department. Would all the Parks and Rec staff who are here just wave your hand? Give them a big round of applause. All the Parks and Rec staff who are here. Thank you for your work and keeping this space alive. I see our St. Paul police officers who are here. Thank you, sirs, for being here with us. Would all the city staff who are here raise your hand? All the city staff who are here, raise your hand. Thank you so much. And I have to tell you, we wouldn't have been able to do this. We wouldn't have been able to deliver on this promise. We wouldn't have been able to deliver on this exciting opportunity to invest in our Frogtown families in our city without the partnership of the Ward 1 City Council member. I already told you that I got a chance to spend a lot of time in that office representing Ward 1 as a neighbor, as a community member, as somebody who grew up in this community. And when you spend that much time invested in the work of an office, it's important to you that somebody come along and carry that work forward. And so I'm appreciative of the opportunity to work with Councilmember Tao, who represents Ward 1, who has been a champion not just of getting this done, but of carrying forward the message of what would it say, in particular to our Hmong young boys and women, if we named this field after General Vang Pao. That's an important conversation to have, and I appreciate you giving voice and keeping that important voice at the table. Without further ado, I want to invite to the microphone our City Council member for Ward 1, Councilmember Tao.
Thank you. I always kind of have to adjust the mic, so it'll work. So first of all, let's give a big round of applause for our wonderful mayor, Melvin Carter. Thank you for his leadership, and he's right. It takes all of us as a team. When you play football, when you play soccer, or Kato, or basketball, you got to do it in team, and that's how we're able to get this thing done. And we did our part as a service to you, and now it's your turn to come and use this park, because again, this park belongs to all of you. Before I continue, I want to acknowledge Director Ham and his team. He's got an incredible team, and they don't just work in Frogtown. They work across the city to make sure that our city municipal facility like this one here works for all of us. And so I want to acknowledge a couple of folks here. If I read your name, please raise your hand, and then after I'm done, we'll give you another round of applause. So Dave Rosani is the landscape architect. Okay. And Chris Stark, where's Chris? So I met Chris a while ago. He led the community engagement. And Alice Miser, where are you? Okay, right over there. Thank you. And then we have Director Ham again, right? Thank you, sir. And I think one of our current facility director is Yer Kang. Is she here? Right over there. Okay. You know, and this project wouldn't have been possible without the help of Noel Nix. He was the legislative aide to the Ward 1 office, and after that he went and joined our CIB committee, and we were strategic to get him there so that he could help advocate for this. And I know there's lots and lots of community leaders that help make this happen. But I want to share a little bit of story about why this field is important for us. We live in a very challenging time where politics is polarized, a lot of racism, discrimination, and this place is a place of peace. And General Vang Pao, we thought that it would be good to name it after him because he was a person who was known as one of the best field generals during the Vietnam conflict. As a military leader, he cared about his soldier. He cares about his people. As a civilian leader, he cares about education. He cares about equality. He was the first Hmong leader to work with the U.S. government and the Lao government to institute education center and school across Laos, especially in the rural area and the jungle, so that young people, especially women, can have the opportunity to go to school, to be teachers, to be nurses. He says to us that whatever country that the Hmong people immigrate to, whether it's political refugee or not, or for education, that becomes our country. That becomes our home. And that we work with everybody in the community, and the message of unity resonate every day. General Vang Pao is a person who care about justice, who care about freedom. And because of those values, the Hmong people were able to come here, and we are so grateful that when we are here, we have our brothers and sisters in the African American community who have fought long since the birth of this country. They have helped to build this land. They have helped to industrialize this country and changing the laws and the rules of civil rights movement and trying to dismantle structural racism in this country. So we are thankful for them, because without them, the Hmong people and the newer immigrant would not be where we are today. And so we are very grateful. As we go forward, invite your family and your friend to use this facility. This is a place where we can gather. We were very strategic about designing a facility that whether you're 8-year-old or you're 80 years old, doesn't matter what race, what gender you are, we wanted to create a place where you belong. And this place belongs to everybody. And I hope they'll continue to use this facility and the space. I remember when we had Scheffer Field here, and we had a meeting in there. It was so hot, it was so crowded. There was literally rat or mice dropping. And that's not what St. Paul wants. We are much better than that. So I'm really proud of the work that we have done, and I hope that you all will promote this unity, peace for all of us, education. Now, I want to say a few words in Hmong to all the Hmong folks and the veterans that could not make it here today. Okay? 我做到呢陣嘢就係呢就用推咗，聽單頭呢整你Hmong友的前面教啦呢，呢就俾多，俾就咪用Hmongที่你多更多，ที่落位都知論齊知連咯，你就นู่น咯俾多ที่รู้เดินยังบาน咯。就只攞亂背書，都話知道呢陣嘢就自己，你冇當下播出幾俾人空睇你多做，就俾我當咪你攞出來個，你日碌清就俾聽，也俾埋你就做些是路是巴， got so I want to leave you with this. When we cut the ribbon and we named this field as General Vang Pao Field, I call upon his spirit in his great name, in his great honor, to watch over us, this city, to watch over our elected official, our mayors, and all the city staff, frontline workers, and all members of the community, to bless us with prosperity, good health, protect us from the pandemic, guide our family, help us to unite, help us to be leaders across this country of what diversity looks like, that our diversity, it's our strength, we stand united, and that we will fight for each other's hope, we will fight for each other's dream. And that's what the American spirit that General Vang Pao would want. So thank you so much. And this project couldn't have been done without the help of community members and leaders of the community. And one of those that I like to introduce here, it's Toa Zhang. He is the owner of the Hmong Town Market. They have incredible food over there. You don't need to go to Southeast Asia or Mall of America. They got great food, great merchandise over there. It's a great incubator space. And so we're very invested in this field. And he'll tell his story of why he got involved with this. And so without further ado, Mr. Toa Zhang, please come to the mic.
Hello, 안녕하세요, and hi. My name is Tua, and I am the Hmong Town Marketplace owner here. For 16 years, I've been seeing this Scheffer Park being used, being not used, and oftentimes because I was a professional guitar player for over 20-some years. And I've been wishing, oh, what happened? Hello? I have been wishing that someday the Scheffer Park gets turned into something that is more applicable to this diverse community of the Fractal or the city of St. Paul. This is so diverse that each one of us is bringing some type of sports from different kind of globe, such as the Kato, Tulu, or top spin, volleyball, soccer. And because the city of St. Paul is so diverse, and has a lot of parks and recs, but these days a lot of these places are not available for the immigrants to play such sports. And today, within no time, with our great leaders, our great City of St. Paul Mayor Carter and Council Member Daito, along with the architectural team, inviting myself into here, giving some ideas, and these are some of my suggestions. On the hope, moving forward and I would like to leave this to our mayor and Council Daito, that and the city of St. Paul Recs, the St. Paul Recs and Parks, that because immigrants are living throughout the whole city of St. Paul, people cannot come here often. So if you will, please also consider some of the parts of the city of St. Paul Parks and Recs to be expanding of this type of sports, not to include just Kato, but badminton, volleyball, and some of the and Tulu too, so that all of us can be playing, can be using here, and that so that we can use the city of St. Paul as a home and as a place to grow. Without further talking, I would like to give an opportunity to my good friend, Katie Royce. It is the Executive Director of Frogtown Neighborhood Association. If you have a special event and you would like to have some licensing from the City of St. Paul, before you go downtown City of St. Paul, applying for the City of St. Paul licensing, you come to her first. And there we go. She's going to give you the opportunity. She's going to approve your thing, right? Okay, come here, right here. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Katie Royce, and I am a co-director of the Frogtown Neighborhood Association. Somewhere around here is Tia Williams, who's the other co-director. There she is over there with that cute red bag. Yes. Frogtown Neighborhood Association has been working since Scheffer was Scheffer, not the little Scheffer that used to be over there. That was the very first Scheffer, but the Scheffer that was here, the mouse stuff that Councilmember Tao talked about, we brought it down to the city and said, here, we need something new, and look what we got. It's beautiful. Someone that tracked the details of the building and helped make it culturally responsive is now a parks commissioner, and his name is Mohammed Liban. And he is a Frogtown hero. There's many Frogtown heroes. He is a Frogtown hero, and used to be on the Frogtown Neighborhood Association's board. So now we've got the building, we've got people, and it's time for programming. Strong support for programming in the community, reaching out to the Como Place apartments where many of the kids will be here playing, already are. And let's make sure that we work together to make sure that the programming is here to match the gorgeousness of that building. And now Jen Attila, who is connected to the curling club over on Minnehaha. Thank you. I will not automatically approve your license. And I don't have that power, but I will help anybody do anything they need.
Hi everyone, we're so honored to be here to represent Frogtown Curling Club, which is at the old Biff Adams Arena. We're looking forward to making friendships within our community and introducing those that are interested in the Olympic sport that we're so proud of, that our Minnesotans won a couple years ago, if you remember the gold medal in curling. We've got a lot of interesting things going on at the club. I'm going to toss it over to Ed Clark, who's going to explain more about the youth curling program. And thank you so much for being here, and thank you for welcoming us as your neighbors.
Thanks, Jen. My name is Ed Clark, and I'm going to have to stoop over to use this. Jen and I are both with the Frogtown Curling Club, and it's 80 degrees and sunny outside, so you're probably wondering, what is the curling club doing here? The connection between these beautiful ball fields and the curling club may not be apparent to everyone right away, but curling, after all, is a sport that's played indoors on ice. 2 teams, each of 4 players apiece, take turns sliding polished granite stones down a 150-foot sheet of ice, each one trying to get their stones closer to the center than their opponents. Sweeping, an integral and interesting part of the game, adds to strategy, making those stones go farther and straighter than if left unswept. But we're here today to recognize the accomplishment of the Frogtown community and stand in solidarity with the Frogtown community, because we share a common purpose, mission, and goal with St. Paul Parks and Rec and with everyone else who's here today. And that mission, that purpose, that goal is to continue to create first-class sports facilities that enhance the quality of the lives of our residents, and to create and provide recreational opportunities that make Frogtown, the city of St. Paul, and the greater Twin Cities metropolitan area better places to live. One thing you should know about Frogtown Curling Club is that we are fiercely loyal to Frogtown. Since 2011, our members have been investing their time and talent and energy transforming an old and underused hockey arena into a world-class curling facility right here in the heart of Frogtown. And we couldn't be prouder to have people come in to participate in our tournaments from all over North America, people who might never come here otherwise to visit and see Frogtown for themselves. So if you're ever wondering, you have friends at Western and Minnehaha Avenues. And while not all of our members live close by, we are all deeply invested in this community and are part of the community. We are supporting and patronizing local businesses. We are creating and staffing youth curling programs and community curling programs. We are reaching out to the community because we want to be part of the Frogtown community. So we stand again in solidarity with you and recognize this great accomplishment, hoping to continue to work together to build an even more vibrant and exciting future for Frogtown tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, I think we're ready to officially open this. All we need to do is help Mayor Carter and Councilmember Tao cut this ribbon.
Here we go, ready? Here we go, Ayana. Everybody. 3, 2,